Hey there, it's me, the recordist. I'm a cartoon now. Look, I'm in my cartoon recording studio and everything. Except the guitar over there, it's massive. Who's going to be able to play that? Not me. That's who's not going to be able to play that. Also, the glass back there, it looks out to the booth. But in my case, the booth is actually a very big and densely populated city, so... Hey, I'm here for my recording session. Do you want me to set up over there in the city? No, man, I've actually got to bail. I'm due to review a new mic in the real world. Oh, which mic? The elusive Stam Audio SA-87i. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'm actually using that mic right now. That's how you're hearing me. Oh. So are you. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Anyway, let's roll the review. No. My mind is blown. It's in a billion tiny pieces of energy now scattered amongst the ever-expanding universe. This is the highly sought-after and occasionally elusive Stam Audio SA-87i microphone. It's the mic I've been looking forward to reviewing here for a very long time. It's 870% nerdy stuff and it's coming right up. So, good day and welcome to the Time Preservation Society. I'm Samwise Gamgee. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you can be notified of new content right when it drops. Cheers. So yeah, this is the one. Are you hearing this right now? Put on some headphones or crank your high-quality studio monitors. Because unlike a lot of mass-produced boardroom mics that need to be believed to be heard, this one needs to be heard to be believed. One thing I can say for sure about the guys over at Stam Audio is that they've got golden ears. I'll explain when I tell you about Stam Audio. So let me tell you about Stam Audio. Stam Audio was founded by Joshua Vanderstam in Chile back in 2014, which was Dracula Untold and A Million Ways to Die in the West ago. Stam Audio came into existence for one very specific reason: to create the most accurate-sounding replicas of vintage audio gear in the world, and price them affordably. Affordable when compared to the actual vintage gear they've replicated. Sure, you've heard that mission statement from other companies before, right? But Stam did it differently. Many parts usually found in vintage gear are no longer made, or those parts are now made better, cleaner, with less total harmonic distortion. So, while many companies will get a hold of the schematics and then recreate the product with modern parts, Stam realized to truly recreate a particular sound, they would need to really analyze each part and test not only modern versions of those parts, but observe and recreate the interactions these parts have with each other to create the synergy the vintage gear is known for. They began testing every configuration possible until they found the right capsules, transformers, tubes, if applicable, and capacitors that would interact with each other the way the originals did. And despite the plethora of scientific metering tools they have at their disposal, they ended up using their ears as the ultimate metric when choosing each part. That's why I said they must have golden ears, because damn. Stam Audio Engineering has recreated many well-known and loved audio gear over the years, from the LA-2A to 1176 compressors to Pultecs to 1073 channel strips and, of course, famous classic microphones. One of those recreations is with us today. It's in the room with us today. The SA-87i. It's a totally accurate replica of the vintage Neumann u87i. This is not a clone of the modern u87ai that you can buy today for around $4,000. It's a recreation of the original Neumann u87i that became the industry standard throughout pro audio world. The original. The u87i was no longer made by Neumann after 1986 when it was replaced with the modern u87ai. If you were to buy a vintage Neumann u87i microphone, you'd be looking at the used market and you'd be spending upwards of, $4,500 USD or more and hope it was either extremely well cared for or that it's been professionally overhauled by Neumann themselves or some famous overhauler. Or you can just get one of the most authentic recreations of that vintage mic ever created. Every switch, function, polar pattern, and even the polarization voltage from the Neumann u87i has been meticulously recreated in this microphone. It's a large diaphragm condenser mic with 3 polar patterns, omni, cardioid, and figure 8. It's got a low roll-off and a 10 decibel pad switch. Everything the original had. Let's have a closer look at it and also a little peek under the hood. The Stam Audio SA-87i comes in a very nice metal protective case. Inside the case is molded high-impact foam that holds both the mic and the included shock mount. The shock mount is made of high-quality metal that is painted in a gray that reminds me very much of quality items from the 1970s. It's painted in 70s. Even the tightening knob is made out of 70s metal and is large enough to really get a nice grip to tighten. The design of the shock mount is similar to the ones that come with the real U87, except for the way it tightens onto the microphone itself. There are 2 screws that remind me of screws we used to tighten down VGA monitor cables back in the day. They're in an awkward place, and they're hard to grab onto to tighten. But I didn't need to tighten them at all. The mic wedges in there nicely. But I like the quality felt material in the rings here to protect the mic. And then the mic itself. It comes in its own thick padded leather pouch. I used to have a jacket made out of exactly this back in the 80s. I had absolutely no clue back then that my jacket was made out of mic pouch, but here we are. Even the zipper here is high quality. And now the mic. Good gracious love a duck, would you look at that? I mean that's a U87 right there. Just a few minor differences. I kind of expected the finish to be a high-gloss, shiny chrome look, but I am pleasantly surprised to find it has a low-gloss steel look, just like the original. It's all metal, of course, with that famous chisel shape on the grill. I'm referring to the tapers on either side here. On the front side, we have the raised Stam logo in a very familiar diamond shape. Along the bottom is a high-quality sticker that runs around the mic. It says Stam Audio SA-87i, made in Chile. How many times have I said high quality? A lot. That's how many times. Well, I'm not done saying that, so brace yourself. Just under the head basket, we see the polar pattern switch. Here we can switch between omni, cardioid, and figure 8 polar patterns, just like the original. On the back are 2 more switches. On the top left, we have a low-cut switch, which traditionally rolls off the lows beginning at 500 and extremely gently rolls off just under 50 Hz. And to the right, we have the -10 dB pad switch, which reduces the sensitivity of the mic by 10 decibels. The grill is strong and doesn't have much give. That's great. But what about under the hood? Let's take a little peek. Now there's some good-looking mic guts right there. Look at that. This look is for those of you who spend hours gazing lustfully at the centerfolds of audio electronics magazines. Yep, them there's high-quality parts. Vichy capacitors, all-mic carbon resistors, polystyrene capacitors, and a Sauter 1303F output transformer. Yeah, that's right. It's got a Sauter 1303F in there. The schematic is true to the original and is fully hand-built by a human person. The capsule in there is a Braingasm BG87 made in Rome. Some of their capsules actually might be Arian Audio, but I haven't confirmed that yet. These guts are truly a thing of beauty. This microphone is, of course, a very special large diaphragm condenser mic, and as such, it requires a very particular and posh type of 48-volt phantom power. This rare phantom power must be aged no longer than 90 days, but kept at precisely 35% humidity and stored specifically in a Spanish cedar humidor. We're talking the best phantom power. It weighs about 840 grams, which is a little under 2 pounds. It's a heavy mic. It measures... Oh, hold on a second. Let me just find my trusty old measuring tape here. You know, this measuring tape was used by a man named Dutch Schaefer in the jungles of South Africa back in '87, I think. I picked it up from a group of mercenaries that same year. What were their names again? Mac, Poncho, Blaine, Billy, and Hawkins, I think? It was a hot summer that year. I wonder whatever happened to those guys. Anyway, it measures about 220 millimeters in length and around 65 millimeters in diameter at its widest. During the actual reviewing process that I do, I spent some time looking up popular works where the Neumann u87i would have been used. This was unsurprisingly not easy. Sure, it's safe to say that the Beatles, John Lennon, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, and a pantload of other musicians and singers, both modern and historical, have used the u87i on their albums. But what about VO or voice acting? Well, to find this out, I spent some time watching behind-the-scenes footage of Disney animated movies and looked for the u87i. They're usually dented, scratched, or otherwise somehow beat up or, beat-looking. I spotted what I think was the u87i in several behind-the-scenes shots, like Aladdin, Moana, Atlantis: The Lost Empire, Hercules, Toy Story, Frozen, The Lion King, and so many others. So there you go. So let's try the polar patterns now, just so we know what that sounds like. Let's start with Omni. Okay. Whoa, it repolarized. There we go. Okay, so we're in Omni right now. Oh, that's Omni. You can hear the fridge upstairs. You can hear the room. This is what my room sounds like. That's my room. That's the sound of it. Yeah. And, it picks up the same from all directions. Underneath, on top, it's a 360 pickup pattern. So it doesn't matter where you are. It's the same, right? So there's your Omni. Okay, I think it sounds pretty good for Omni. It sounds like it's a good Omni. It's a good Omni. Let's go figure 8. Wow. That's interesting. When I switch them, it like powers off and then comes back on again. Interesting. So this is the sound of the figure 8. So we should be able to see from the side. You're not picking up anything from the side. You're actually hearing the room bounce. It is not picking up anything from the side at all. And then the back, there it is in the back. And there we go. And back to the front again. Yeah, so that's figure 8. Let's go back to cardioid. Okay, back to cardioid. I'm partial to this sound for voice right now. How about the roll-off? Let's give that a try right now. Let's do that. Okay, so now you're hearing you can hear, that's actually a really nice roll-off. That is, I would actually use that. Did you hear the sound of the house has, a bloodstream and a heart pumping. The house that I live in has, things on everywhere. And there's a lot of low frequency pollution, we'll call it, which instantly went away when I put on that. But the voice sounds pretty good. I mean, what is that, like 85 hertz? Maybe 90? Somewhere around there. Yeah, that sounds really good. I like it. Let's go back. So you can hear that low, the house sounds. It's a quiet mic too. And it's quiet. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. So to further test this mic out, I did what I do. I wrote a little mini song about it. Every instrument and voice you're about to hear was recorded using the Stam Audio SA-87i, with the exception of a couple of drum accents. Here's that song. An old mic, a new old sound. They are alike, it's so profound, and they vowed to revive the soul of a long dead star. go far. Actually, you do. It's in Chile, so you'd have to get it shipped unless you lived in Chile. It's the SA-87i, and it's in Chile, but that's the one I'd pick, because Stam knows what they're doing. Oh yeah, lead guitar. Insane. Okay, so how can you get one? Well, like with every good thing, there comes some negatives. You can't have one. No, I'm joking. In the case of the Stam audio products, the only negative is actually getting the thing in your hands. Since all of Stam Audio's products are handmade, they're done in batches, and they kind of sell out faster than Stam can build them. And if you go online looking for reviews for any of their products, you'll find two commonly uttered sentiments. One, these are some of the best vintage audio gear reproductions on the market. And two, if you can get your hands on them. They sell out very quickly when they have stock, and when they don't have stock, they take pre-orders with a discount. Luckily, it seems the weight isn't so crazy for microphones. They're a bit easier to build than giant preamp channel strips. So let's talk price and discounts. You can purchase the Stam Audio SA-87i for only $790, which is crazy cheap for a mic of this caliber. I mean, that's crazy cheap. But at the time of filming this video, at least right now when I'm filming it, there are none in stock. However, here's the good news. The next batch is due in August 2024, which is only less than a month away, and if you pre-order one, they'll knock $100 off the price. So you can own this microphone for a grand total of $690 and a month's wait. You can order it or pre-order it by going to www.stamaudio.com. I've put the direct link to this mic in the description below. But you might be watching this video from the future. It's highly likely you are, and possibly well into the future. So, August 2024 means absolutely nothing to you. That was a long time ago for you. In that case, there may be more of these in stock right now, so go check and buy it. Don't wait. Don't go back and forth on it wondering if it's a good purchase. Buy it and take care of it for the rest of your life. It's your baby. So here are my conclusions. This is an insane mic, if you haven't guessed. Listen to this thing. It's insane. I think it may be one of the best microphones with character that I've had on my channel so far. One of, not the, but easily top two. It's inspiring. That's the word I would use. Inspiring. I'm inspired to record more when I hear this thing. It inspired me to do that animated bit at the beginning. It inspired me to write and record that little mini song in its honor. But it's a colorful mic. It's got soul and saturation and color and mid-sizzle. It's not a transparent mic. If you're after a totally transparent mic, well, buy it anyway and just send it over to me. I would sleep on a bed made of these. As audio pros, we can all get a bit snobbish. We work with all kinds of mics and gear, both cheap and expensive. We tend to find favorites and sometimes turn our noses up at cheaper or mass-produced factory-made equipment. I'll always stand by my original sentiment, which is you can do anything with anything within reason. But when you have extraordinarily high-quality mics like the Stam Audio SA-87i, you're reminded of just how good it can be without tinkering. What I mean is, I'll take a recording on an entry-level mic like, say, the Rode NT1, right? And I'll add some preamp grit, a hell of a lot of EQ, and then my usual treatments of compression and effects. And, I'll have something usable that most listeners would never be able to tell the difference with. But with an insanely good microphone, like the SA-87i, it's amazing right out of the box. I can hear that subtle integrated layer of pleasing saturation lining every sound this mic captures. It's like an almost undetectable high-frequency oscillating carrier tone is woven into its sound, and it's breathtaking. It actually makes me giddy to listen to. I gid. I'm going to say, I think they've nailed it. Years ago, I worked a lot with a genuine vintage Neumann u87i. I loved it then, and I've got to say, this sound brings back a lot of memories. I wish I had that mic here to compare, but I do not. But I know in my brain's ears and also in my heart that they've captured the spirit and the essence of that Neumann u87i. They've bottled the grit and the mid-punch and the massive character that made the u87 famous to begin with. So, do I recommend the Stam Audio SA-87i? 1,000,000% yes. I mean, this is the real deal. You can use this mic for almost anything, and it'll sound incredibly good. I've become a new and massive fan of Stam Audio today. If they make their other products as good as they've made this mic, and they figure out how to get a large team of Despicable Me minions cranking these out, they'll sweep the world as the #1 vintage audio gear replicant company. I mean, that's what I say. They also make Neumann U47, U67, Sony C800G clones, along with a tube version of the u87 that you see here. I'm hoping to test any or all of those mics here, along with any gear they make and want to send to me. Josh, if you're out there, fantastic job. Email me. Well, that'll just about do it for all of me here at the Time Preservation Society. Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew. Bye now. In transmission. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Buy this microphone. It's amazing. I'm so excited about it. It's great. And watch these other videos. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.